constructed and commissioned to complement the in-house power generation efforts. The letter also reminded about the loan that the government has secured from Saudi Arabia to develop a 60-megawatt solar plant, generating 90% of the country's demand. And finally, the Ministry of Energy plans to add a battery storage system to support the national grid's output. After the break, the Bradley family, a history of Belizean boat building.
In April 2015, the government of Belize gave an undertaking embodied in a consent order of the Caribbean Court of Justice to recognize Maya customary land tenure over Maya lands in the villages in the Toledo district, which constitute property that is protected by Section 3D and 17 of the Constitution of Belize. Therefore, the government accepts the consent court order of 2015 and the existence of Maya customary land tenure, and has since been in the process of implementing that order. But that does not mean that any part of this country will be separated. The government retains authority over all land in Belize and is currently in the process of first defining the scope of Maya customary land tenure. The Ministry of Human Development, Families, and Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the ministry tasked to facilitate the implementation of the consent order of 2015, is committed to protecting the rights and interests of all parties affected: Maya villages, non-Maya villages, and private landowners. Implementing the CCJ Consent Order of 2015 is a complex process. We are working tirelessly to move the implementation forward. However, during this time, we ask all affected parties to be reasonable and respectful of each other's rights and privileges. As Belizeans, we must recognize that our right to property is protected by our Constitution, regardless of who we are or where we live. This is our Belize.
Sign up for a Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
How does investment services work? For example, Joe's Construction wants to expand its operations by purchasing new equipment and hiring additional staff. How can Joe's Construction get an investment loan? The answer: Investment Services appraises the loan application and focuses on 2 key areas: adequate collateral and repayability. Investment Services will also consider how Belizeans and the economy will benefit from this new investment through job creation and business growth. The terms and conditions for Joe's Construction loan will be based on the purpose and cash flow. After recommendation and approval, the loan is disbursed. SSB remains committed to proper management of the fund through prudent and responsible investments for the benefit of its beneficiaries, employers, and the Belizean economy. Social Security Board, an investment for you, your family, your future.
Monday, July 31st, we celebrate Emancipation Day and we invite everybody to Yabra Green for Ibotong Festival. Everything they start 11 in the morning. Then they have cultural handicraft, live art display like carvings and so, traditional Creole food, pastries, local wines, bouncy house for the picnic day, even one historical tour from Yarborough to museum and back. Wait, it not done there. Live music and performance by Brother David and Tribal Vibes, Boom and Chime, second generation, and Drums Not Guns. Sound system provided by Impact One Sounds. So remember, July 31st, Ibotong Festival, out at Yarborough Green.
In tonight's episode of Belize on Reel, we take a look at the history of boat building in Belize and one family's legacy in that industry. Stephen Bradley has spent the better part of his life building and repairing boats. His nephew Travis Bradley has also made a name for himself as a more than capable craftsman. Together, they are carrying on a family tradition that has spanned several generations. And they are doing so by acknowledging other Belizeans involved in the business of boat building. News 5's Isani Catano reports.
The design and construction of boats, as well as their systems, are a long-established occupation in the Bradley family. Generations of these boat builders have crafted seagoing vessels of all types.
My dad learned the trade from his uncle and his father. And at that time it was primarily wooden boat building, and he used to build small sailboats and many open speedboats for different clients in Belize. Eventually, my dad, Dennis Bradley Sr., branched. He got contracts to build sailing yachts for clients from the U.S., from Texas, from New Orleans, from Florida. And some of those boats that he's built has crossed the Atlantic Ocean both ways.
60-year-old Stephen Bradley is a master boatwright. He's been in business as a manufacturer of fiberglass watercrafts since the age of 20. Along the way, Bradley has built numerous boats for clients across the country.
Like many other local boat builders of today, we, myself, my brothers, and my nephew, we learned the trade from the older heads, like our parents, our fathers, right? And now we are still involved in it. So this is where we are today. We're building fiberglass boats because that seems, with the difficulty with getting quality wood, first and select quality woods, and the advent of fiberglass in the mid-50s and late 60s, many of us switched over to the fiberglass boat building, which is quicker. It's a longer-lasting boat.
Travis Bradley is a fourth-generation builder. His dockyard, like his uncle's a few miles away, is littered with various types of marine vessels. As the proprietor of Admiral Boat Services, he too is carrying on a legacy that began with his forebears over a century ago.
I started off working with my father, and then eventually he had left the country again, and I started my own business. I went into a bunch of different stuff. I did tendering for a while, built a tender boat and did tendering, and at the same time started up my own repair shop and stuff like that, and eventually got into building.
Today, Steve and his crew are preparing a pair of boats for export to the British Virgin Islands. There, his sibling will complete the finishing for clients who have ordered these vessels.
My brother, who lives in the Virgin Islands, he started asking questions, and he initiated the move for us to start building boats to export to the Virgin Islands. The first boats that we exported there was the Pelican 300, the modified deep V hull, and those were for one client who had a boat rental business. And then we started to export some of the standard Pelican boats, where the Pelican name started, the 25-footers, which they received that quite well as well.
Despite owning and operating their own boatyards, this uncle and nephew duo relies on each other for advice. They also bounce ideas around together.
I have a great set of workers, a great team, and they're very skilled. We do welding, as well as the fiberglass work, and we build from scratch. A lot of repairs, we do electrical, and it takes the whole team to build a boat.
My nephew, Travis Bradley at Admiral Boat Services, he does excellent work. He can do the same work we're doing. He can get into the export industry. All the other smaller boat yards that do fiberglass work can get a piece of the pie if they want. Well, that may sound weird because you'd say, well, why doesn't Mr. Bradley want, or Bradley's boat yard want the whole pie for themselves? It's not that. It's putting Belize out there on the international scene. We do have serious talent in Belize when it comes to building and designing boats.
At Admiral's, Travis is taking his passion for boat building to another level. His eyes are set on bigger boats to accommodate international travelers arriving on our shores.
The bigger boats that I'm building are mainly passenger boats for water taxis or tour boats or dive boats, and it's growing. Everybody is going bigger, and there's more tourists coming into the country, so I mean the market will still be there.
The demand for Belizean-built vessels is high, but it wouldn't be possible without the work that was put in by a number of well-known craftsmen.
Indeed, it has been a rich history, and we had many prominent boat builders. From memory, I can recall Stacey Tewes, Clifford Betson, Arthur Hoare, Gerald Jones, my dad, Dennis Bradley, the Alamia and the Alamina brothers, Mr. Santos, better known as Baluch Santos, Pipersburg. I mean, these were all prominent boat builders with excellent experience in the wooden boat trade. One of the most important points I want to make, all the Belizean boat builders are capable of designing, building the mold, and building a boat from their own Belizean design.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isane Cayetano.
When we return, YWCA concludes 2023 summer program for kids.
They tell us major crimes are reducing.
Certainly, crime is on a downward trend.
But July has been one of the most murderous months ever.
The body of a 16-year-old is lying in the morgue tonight after he was killed yesterday morning.
Within less than 48 hours, another teen was murdered in the old capital.
An upsurge in gun violence continued in the city this evening when another man was shot on the south side.
Plus, a woman murdered in Progresso Village.
A single mother of two is shot and killed. Her 4-year-old daughter is injured by gunfire during a pre-dawn attack on their Plou Street home. A badly decomposed body is discovered near Maxboro.
This now becomes the second murder of a known gang figure in as many days.
A late-night shooting in Hattieville.
Tonight, a known gang figure is dead after he was executed this afternoon on Niels Penn Road.
4 Belize City residents have been murdered in the last 9 days. 2 murders were recorded in approximately 6 hours. One in Belize City and the other in Belmopan.
Escarpeta was shot once to the body and died on the spot.
No, instead of acknowledging and addressing the crisis, the police minister blames the media.
I think the media also has a crucial role to play in how people feel safe, because now that you can see images, it's actually making you feel more unsafe when in fact the black and white statistics are saying you are in fact safer. It's just that now we have Facebook, we have social media, we have the news always bombarding us with crime stories that you say, my goodness, crime is out of control.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister keeps running from the media rather than addressing the many crises facing his administration.
I'm only going to be speaking about that. We want to focus on the Red Cross.
I understand, but sir, there was just one question, sir.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Everything is better electric. Be more efficient with electric vehicles and transforming your home with Energy Star electric appliances and power tools. This helps to create a greener and cleaner world for the next generation. Energize your world with BL.
Honda Navi, a partner you can rely on. BandGrip, equipment, parts, service.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text in to the short code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win. Local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
The Young Women's Christian Association, YWCA, in Belize City concluded a 4-week summer program for children today. The group of approximately 30 young women was engaged in a number of training courses, including crochet classes, conversational Spanish, art, cooking, and baking. This morning, a brief closing ceremony was held at the organization's headquarters, where all the participants received their certificates of completion.
Our programs lasted for 4 weeks. We started in the first week of July, and then today we're culminating with a short ceremony for the students. Students took classes in Afro dance. They did a crochet class. We had a conversational Spanish for children, junior and senior. We had arts class. We had a painting class. We had a cooking, baking. So we had several programs running, as well as the swimming pool was active as well. Our vision is to actually serve the community, build skills with our children and adults especially. So then we just came up with these different activities based on the demand from the community. We see it as a success because when you look at the product that was actually given by these students at the end of the program, it's amazing how much they learned in the 4 weeks. Our adult skills training program will begin in September 25th, and they are going to be running during the day and some during the night and even on Saturdays. Our programs are going to be sewing. We have a level 1 and a level 2, and then we will also have the English as a second language that is going to be offered, level 1 and level 2 as well. And with this, we are coordinating with a teacher who's a primary school teacher. So he has experience in English and Spanish, so he can better relate to the people, especially immigrants, because these are the people that we are catering for to give English as a second language.
Other courses being made available for the YWCA Adult Skills Program are cake decorating, hair braiding, nutritional diet planning, and computer classes. The Community-Oriented Policing Unit awarded 8 scholarships to high school students selected from across Belize City today. The unit chose students who reside in single-parent homes. The recipients are attending high schools that are not part of the Ministry of Education's Education Upliftment Pilot Project. The ceremony was held this afternoon inside the Abra Community Resource Center.
It has become an annual event for us to support young people, especially in the Belize district, with all the circumstances that young people are experiencing. We want to give young people an opportunity to get a quality education. Or policing is not just about arresting people. We must find another alternative in terms of preparing young people to become successful adults. So what we're seeing here today, and we're grateful to all the sponsors who have helped us throughout the years to help these young people. There are many students who are receiving another scholarship going into a different form.
This opportunity is very helpful because I've seen my mom and my grandma struggled a lot helping to pay my school fees, and I feel like this would help me strive and be better for high school and graduation, and I know it'll make my mom very proud of me because she's a single parent and it helps her to see me strive. My vision for when I grow up is I want to get a degree in law. My family has gone through a lot with law, and it's affected me in many ways, and I just want to see people like the law, constitution, everything get better. In my opinion.
I know there's a lot of other students just like me who would wish for an opportunity like this and they don't get it, so it makes me want to try more, and it also takes off a strain from my mother as well, so it helps both ways. For me, it shows that police are not just people in uniforms who try to enforce the law. They're actually kind-hearted people that actually look out for the young people and wants to see Belize be a better place.
York Street is one of the oldest arteries in the Fort George area. It runs parallel to Freetown Road and serves as an alternative to that carriageway. But its pavement over the decades has slowly deteriorated. And then, when the rain comes, it floods, forcing the residents to wade through the water to access their homes. But today, a newly raised cemented York Street was officially opened. It is one of several streets that the Belize City Council has done and is still doing, and one of 90 streets that Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner says was in the plans to get done this year. Meanwhile, Fort George Area Representative Henry Charles Usher says that this was a project that was discussed several months ago.
It's a pledge that we made very early on, and I'm just happy that we could have partnered with the Belize City Council to get it done.
What was the street like before?
Well, it was an unpaved street, so when it rained, it flooded. It left a lot of holes after the rain, and certainly the residents are happy now that this improvement has happened. No?
It serves as an alternative to Freetown Road, but more importantly, about improving the quality of life for the residents in the area, right? This street here, prior to the concreting of it, when it rains, people used to walk, trod through it, up to their knees in water, and I think by working along with the area rep to get this street done was one of our high priority areas.
The council and the area rep's next street project in the area will be Pickstock Street, another one of the older streets that has deteriorated and that now contains numerous potholes. And while York Street residents are relieved to have a new thoroughfare, the residents of Fort George will have a new receptacle to better manage their garbage problem. That comes after the Belize City Council, which is responsible for garbage collection, handed over a check to Fort George Area Representative Henry Charles Usher today. Mayor Bernard Wagner explained the purpose of the donation.
It was 5,665, and it was really to alleviate what they call hot spots in the city. We have it all over the place. If you drive by Mayflower right now, you'll see a big bunch of garbage there. So this receptacle that will be built will be as a storage area. The residents in the area on pickup days will take out those garbage in their bins, and waste control moves it out. It's a much more safer, more cleaner, more health conscious type of approach.
As the campaign season draws nearer leading up to the municipal elections next year, insiders from both political mass parties have started to position themselves to have their names appear on the ballot on election day. Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner has made it abundantly clear that he wants a third go as mayor, but that he will only run again if he is endorsed. And already there are names being called of persons who also wants to be the next mayoral candidate on the PUP ticket. Today, the media got a chance to ask the chairman of the People's United Party, Henry Charles Usher, if there will be an endorsement of Wagner. Wagner also explained that he has proven that he is able to withstand other challenges, referring specifically to COVID and Hurricane Lisa.
My stand remains, as I have indicated prior, that has not changed. It's my decision, and the party has its decision to make as well. I respect the decision of the party. I respect anybody else's decision who aspire.
But that's not born out of fear, is it, of being contested? Or do you think you've already proven yourself to not have to face a contested convention?
Could be. I believe that I've been tested. Right, I've been tested. In 2018, I was tested, but I believe the greatest test for myself and my council was the COVID test, right, and the Lisa test. Then those are events which will go down in history. That this Belize City Council, led by Mayor Wagner, faced COVID. That will never change. And when you go back in the history books, 100 years from now, they ask who was the mayor, who was the city council at that time when COVID came, and it was us. And we performed. We never fired anyone. We kept the city running. We have just continued to persevere. That's it.
The National Executive had opened the window for persons to apply for the different positions at the different municipal bodies. That window will close on August 4th. So I'd probably be better able to answer that after that closing date.
More or less if Mayor Wagner will be endorsed or if there will be a convention?
I wouldn't be able to.
5 years. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the survey was not conducted. Nonetheless, the various ministries that are part of the national survey are now looking to new data that will guide their individual priority areas. The workshop was led by Paulette Wade, a monitoring and evaluating specialist at UNICEF. She gave us an outline of the exercise after the head of the Statistical Institute of Belize explained how they will manage all the data. And then various representatives of participating ministries shared how the data will assist in their work.
There is like a governance structure. So we have a steering committee that's made up of the CEOs, and they are going to say, okay, yes, these are the things that final validation as to what we need. There is a planning committee that looks at what are some of the areas that we need to do, like this data needs assessment. This is something that has to be done. So the planning committee plans that data needs assessment to find out from the government what it is that they need, because the mix comes with a laundry list of questions. There is 177 questions, I think, and we can't go in a household and give a questionnaire that is 2 to 3 hours. No woman would answer that kind of questionnaire. So we need to look at what are critical questions that we need to ask, so that at least we can say, okay, maximum an hour we will spend in a household, and then people are more open to doing a questionnaire.
The mix is a survey that's composed of several modules that cover a wide range of areas: health, disability, child labor, education. And so with all of these modules that are available to us, what we need to do is prioritize. So we are today hearing from our stakeholders, our data users, to get an idea of what their data needs are. And so we can, as we are designing what will go into this survey, we can make decisions on what the priority modules and questions will be for the mix.
I work at the Ministry of Economic Development, and we are responsible for implementing and monitoring the medium-term development strategy, which is the government's plans, policies, and programs for the next 5 years. So a lot of the work that we do, the implementation of the MTDS, will rely on the implementation of the internal ministries, of the line ministries. So whatever modules they find necessary for their ministries to strengthen their capacity and their data sources within their ministries will feed into the successful implementation of the MTDS overall.
We are looking at the data, at gaps that where we will, in this workshop, we are going to identify and what are the data that is mostly needed in the Ministry of Health, or what are data that is like a gap, no? Mm-hmm. So that is what we are here for and to discuss. And when the survey is ready, then we will use that data for our daily work. So as a health educator, we work mostly in the communities. Mm-hmm. So we work with community health workers. So that information we will provide to them so that we could enforce, so we could strengthen, right, the work that we're doing in our communities.
This data, it helps really to inform all of our national development and sector planning. The importance is that the indicators, of which 40 of them also helps us to report on the Sustainable Development Goals. And so specific to that is that the richness of the information, if I could use that terminology, is only available in the mix. Understanding that in terms of a limitation as a country, we don't have a national data collection exercise outside of the census, or, for example, the mix, or more frequently the labor force survey, which is of course limited in itself.
Up next, Belize secures first victory in Central American basketball tournament.
The Belize Tourism Board, Mars Production, and Belican present the biggest show to hit the jewel we call Belize. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0. Join us on Saturday, July 29th and Sunday, July 30th at the Marion Jones Stadium with live performances by Morgan Heritage, the dancehall queen Spice,
me that girl, me no fight over man.
Busy Signal,
for them stairs,
Afrobeat sensation Rotimi. Dancehall artist for 2023, Byron Messiah. Alongside Skinny Fabulous. Jadelle. Earth and Owls. Mr. Warming Up Adam O. And Lyrica. The Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0, July 29th and 30th. Come savor the rhythm as we pair music with the best of Belizean cuisine. Sponsors are Belize Tourism Board, Belican, Niche, Pop, ICB, Wine Smith, eCash, Dolphin Production, DigiWallet, Channel 5, Love FM, Creme Radio, Channel 7, Vibes Radio, Fiesta FM, and OYE Radio.
Do you love to write? And are you currently enrolled in primary school? Well,
This is your opportunity to win awesome prizes for yourself and your school. Students from Standards 4, 5, and 6 are invited to participate in BEL's 2023 Primary School Essay Competition. Here is how you can participate. In your own words, explain what our 2023 Safety and Health Week theme means to you. Personal accountability and shared responsibility, cultivating safe values and attitudes. 9 prizes will be awarded for first, second, and third place in each standard. First place winners will receive a laptop, $1,000 plus $2,000 for their school. Second place winners will receive a laptop plus $750. And third place winners will receive a laptop plus $500. Essays should be a maximum of 500 words and submitted in PDF format with your name, school, class, and contact number. Submit your essay to safety@bel.com.bz no later than Monday, July 31st, 2023. Let your ideas take flight and win with BEL's annual primary school essay competition.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway, from Roaring Creek to Esperanza, has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times, and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the short code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
The second annual Belize International Music and Food Fest is less than 2 days away, and artists from across the Caribbean are pouring in to perform during this weekend's mega event in Belize City. The stage is set for a deep lineup of Belizean and regional musicians, as well as local chefs from across the country to showcase their culinary flair. Earlier today, rising dancehall sensation Byron Messiah arrived in Belize from his home country of St. Kitts and Nevis. He's also billed as a headliner on Saturday night's ticket. News 5 spoke with Messiah and Belizean producer DJ Perf about the upcoming concert.
Say you're bad from which part? Tell her say we no one dip dog. Like Chinese wall so the clip tall. Show it up and make you fall from your disc dog. You know one on a disguise, man a big dog.
It happened so quick, it happened so swiftly, it's so real up to today still, you know. It was more labor was more hard work than the average artist that is making it out daily, you know, because especially when you come from a place that don't even have the tools or the necessities, you know, that is needed to even do the job of being an artist. So yeah.
I plan my next move. Me have a line, a million of them me have be fine. Nobody waste your time, me dash with the iPhone tonight.
And I started doing music at a tender age still, you know. Yeah, I started taking it serious at the age of 15. To be honest, that's when I was in high school. It wasn't until I left college where I proceeded to take it further. By even venturing out outside of my hometown, which is St. Kitts. Went overseas, link up with a couple of friends, and you know, them just take me to next level, and here I am today, you know. Yeah, man, I have a song list already still, you know. You see I'm calm right now, because me just charge up right now, you know. Because yeah, Saturday is going to be an amazing, wonderful experience for the Belizean people. So yeah, man, definitely.
The festival is to showcase Belizean culinary arts and musicians and stuff like that while implementing, you know, the international scene. This year last year we was in San Pedro. This year we decided to bring it to the city, you know, just to do basically like a tour, you know, to showcase a different part of the city. And with that being said, I think it was one of the best that we bring, you know, the biggest artists currently in the world, along with other huge artists, you know. And that is what the festival is about, is to implement, you know, the local acts with the international acts, to do some kind of like networking and, you know, just to create that scene for the festival itself. Producing for the local acts and trying to develop the music industry here, we pretty much have it down pat in terms of creating music. Now it's just to get it, you know, outside and, you know, trying to take Belize to the next level. On the other side of, you know, working as a music consultant and the stage manager for the festival itself, you know, it's just to try to link Belize with the outside world. You know what I mean? To, you know, create that kind of like a networking, you know, so that, you know, the international scene and the local scene, you know, treat everybody as one, you know.
The International Basketball Federation's Under-17 Central Basket Tournament is currently underway inside the Belize City Civic Center. On Wednesday night, Belize played its first match of the tournament against Panama. After 4 quarters of playtime, Belize came out of the match on top, winning the game with 78 baskets to Panama's 67 baskets. Number 24 for Team Belize, Douglas Lanford, recorded a double-double with 17 points and 17 rebounds. He also had 4 steals and 5 blocks. Number 5, Devin Moody, also recorded a double-double with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Number 1, Elijah Favela, brought the hot hands for Team Belize, scoring 18 points, 5 of which were 3-pointers. Team Belize takes on Jamaica tonight inside the Civic. A win tonight will guarantee the team a spot in the medal round over the weekend. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.